I don't know if you could hear that in the background, but the cicadas are going crazy right now. Anyways, I just got this an hour ago as part of the Ryobi Memorial Day savings. Usually they skimp on packaging, but in this case they kind of went overkill. I opted for this compact battery, and these come in really hard packaging, plastic packaging, probably to deter shoplifting. But I have made a complaint before that, on the Home Depot website, that this could actually cause injuries due to how difficult it is to open. And then, of course, any review that has safety concerns, they flag it and censor it, which I believe is kind of ridiculous. We live in the USA, we should have freedom of speech, but whatever. That's a whole different story. So I was able to get it open without cutting myself, which is pretty impressive. This is the PBP003. This is the newer 2.0 amp hour compact battery. I'm gonna do a quick comparison with the old one right here. I believe this is the P190, and if I'm not mistaken, usually this happens on a lot of the tools I have. I don't know if it's a cost savings or what, but some of the fitment is a little bit off. Again, this happens on many tools, so what I usually do is I take a little screwdriver, a flathead, and while pushing the tab, I just pry it out. Unfortunately, I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time. But yeah, this is pretty much how you do it. You just kind of twist the screwdriver while pushing the tabs, and it should just pop right out. So I decided to go with the battery instead of a tool because this year most of the offerings for the sale aren't that great. But I know that I really wanted this new style battery. First of all, for the gauge. The older one doesn't have it. And after you use batteries with the gauge, it's kind of hard to go back because you might be in the middle of a project and you're not really sure how much runtime you have left. Let's see. The contacts look the same. I can't exactly remember if they had a difference. I know some people said that the HP batteries had an extra contact. I'm not really too sure about that. So let's just do a quick weight comparison. Scale is zeroed out. Okay, so it looks like the old battery was 15 ounces, so just slightly less than a pound. The new one's more or less the same, which I expected. So in comparison, the older 3 amp hour battery is closer to 2 pounds. I don't know if you can see that. So these two came as a pack when I first got into the lineup. They also had the same promotion. Get this battery kit with a charger and then get a free tool. The older style 3 amp hour batteries, they work well. Especially if we're doing quick jobs. It's not really a concern. Let's just use the impact driver. So with the battery, it weighs 4 pounds, 5 ounces. So with the new compact battery, it's a little less than a pound lighter. Which on paper, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. But as I found out recently while I was doing a basement remodel, if you're drilling and driving, let's say hundreds of screws, you're over 30 years old, it does kind of add up over time. So, especially if you have a tool that doesn't need a lot of amp hours, I think this is the way to go. I even have larger 9 amp hour batteries, even larger than this, a lot heavier. You know, those are really good for the saws, grinders, sanders, things that you don't want to cut out halfway through the job. But for simple stuff, I think it just can't be beat. Just a little extra note. I know earlier I talked about the extra contact on the tool. You will see 2 inside. I believe what people are referring to is the one right here. If you look at the HP batteries, here's that contact. Whereas this one, the non-HP one, does not have it. I believe Ryobi even recently released new tools that did away with this contact. I believe what they said was they have circuitry or something that now accounts for that. And just one more example of where a smaller compact battery would help. This is a backpack or a handheld sprayer. When you put liquid in there, it's pretty heavy already. So depending on what size battery you put, it can make a difference. Whereas if you have stationary tools like this fan, it doesn't really matter how large the battery is. You can put a 9 amp hour in, it doesn't matter. You're not really gonna be hauling it around all the time.